Hello. Welcome back to Actual Play. Sorry, I was a little late. I'm glad I left the overlay up, so it's something going on. I am returning. I'm returning with treats. My mom brought some scones today. They're the massivest scones ever. This is half of one. It's
What?
They're massive. So
Those are so good.
I'm gonna be noshing on scones, the little lemon curd, and some tea. And I have a little pupper with me who has a treat of his own.
I'm super envious of this whole situation, but
yeah.
I was going to make sure there was a treat. Okay, good.
Yeah. He's only not in my lap because he has a treat of his own. I was like, I'm not gonna go have my own treat without giving you one too.
No,
so
not allowed.
Awesome.
You know how at the end of like old TV shows, they would like cut to a commercial break and then they would cut back and they would like replay the last like couple seconds just so like to catch you up.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
Exactly. Okay, so as the three of you like look from behind, at the moment that you put on the spirit mask, right? That's when you realize like the whole time that you've been walking, like you're so used to the headaches and the ghost field constantly.
Yeah.
But the moment you walked in here, it's a strange sensation. And you realize like there was such a sudden spike in pain that it sort of like turned into like static that you couldn't even fully perceive it. So the moment that you put on the mask, that's when you see like all the people who are like incredibly still in a circle and not responding in any way whatsoever. Each one of them has like 2 to 3 spirits that are screeching from behind their backs, just like clawing and screaming, hair moving wildly, right? Just absolutely panicked and frothing. Like these are like really incredibly dangerous, panicked, desperate ghosts, right? They haven't perceived you yet, right? And they're in some incredible amount of pain.
Wow.
And you can't fully tell what's going on, right? And you're not sure, like, to have a spirit like that attached to a living person doesn't really make sense. And it doesn't make sense that they're not responding either. Like, you're not sure exactly what's going on.
And the spirit is not in the person. They're outside the person, like clawing at them or like tugging at them. But like,
like they're attached to their backs, right? Like the ghosts are like trapped in each person and they're trying to escape basically.
Oh, I see. They are bound, but they're trying to get out. My hand reaches out and clenches on and to someone's arm and squeezes hard, and then I think we see like Ordon look down and realize that I'm squeezing Penance's arm and not hers. Don't know if there's jelly in it. I don't know if there's jelly there or not, but anyway.
It's my favorite thing that's happened this game so far. The session so far.
I think like what you see instead of jelly is Oradan just looks a little like it's expected, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like her face is kind of like, of course she wouldn't reach out for me. It's the kind of response instead.
Oh. Now I feel bad for Oradan.
It's not that I don't care about her. It's just
leave it to Ray to come up with the worst reaction, right?
I know. The jealousy would have been easier to deal with, Ray, and you know it.
But Oradan doesn't love herself enough to be jealous. But anyway, so
and we can't all see this horrific scene, correct? It's just Ankh because of the mask.
Ankh can see it the clearest, right? Oradan can sense something horrible is going on, but Ankh can very clearly between her training and her tools, right? She can perceive it. And then so like as that happens, like the box starts to open up. And like first there's this like black goo that starts to leak out from underneath the coffin that like reaches out and pulls. And at first it looks natural, like the way like just brackish water will pool. But then you realize it's like spreading out towards the people in a circle, almost like hands and fingers reaching out at different speeds. And then you notice like the ghosts that are like fighting the most against their prison, that's where the the ichor is like
Right.
moving towards the fastest. And then the timekeeper, like from behind the mask, just says, the more you struggle, the more pain will feed the child, and the child will grow stronger.
So I think it though, like hearing that, like it says the child, we like in Ank's mind, like flashback to a time many ages ago, where like Skurlock and she were like looking at some arcane tome to like look up a ritual, and there's this picture of a coffin on. There's like this depiction of a coffin on it, and he's like, no, we can't speak of the child. That's that's like not what we're here for, right? And she like looks and she sees Skurlock looking like really remorseful and sad, and like clearly it's touched him or something like that. And all this is to say that my takeaway from the assumption is this ritual is real bad. It shouldn't happen, and we should definitely disrupt it, right? Like, like that is one hundo what I think we should do. And I think that's when we should. I think, Penance, that's when you should like remote activate the lightning barrier that we like set up outside of this rail car. When we had those, like, we're setting up some weird things. If that sounds cool to you, you're the Sparkcraft Pro. You tell me what happens, but I feel like you have some preparation. We'll just pay whatever stress or coin needed to make it happen.
Yeah, I love that. I love the idea that after we saw, after we see the flashback, we cut back to where Ankh has grabbed Penance's arm, and the camera pans down and Penance has her hand in her pocket and she pulls out of her pocket like a detonator type, right? Like a contraption, and clicks a button. And then we move to the outside of where we are and we see everything start to power up.
If I could just like add like a grungy element to
Please.
this, that's okay. I feel like Wi-Fi is like just not a thing in this thing. We like look back and there's this long cable like running all the way like through the car. Like there's this core, like no one noticed it until now because we never looked at our feet. But there's this cable like running all the way back.
I am here for that.
So we brought it.
All right.
Is this something we're rolling for, Ray?
We're rolling to see how effective it is, but I think it's also going to cost. I think for you all to be able to set this up without setting off the timekeeper, it'll cost 3 stress to make sure it didn't notice.
Yeah. Well, I was actually going to say, I think in addition to whatever stress costs is to do the flashback of setting it up, I think we should pay a coin to flash back to an acquire asset roll to have the actual thing. Like this isn't like just like normal gear, right? Like a lightning, like whatever contraption this is like. I feel like it's a special asset, and we might spend multiple coin to get the tier high enough, because I would like to make sure that we're tier 1. So if we acquire asset and we get a 4 or 5 result, we get like a tier 1 item, and I feel like this item needs to be at least as powerful as so we have to spend more coin to have it be like higher tier, right? So and this could be something you made, this could be something we bought, but I think the acquire asset is the right resource. Like say like legitimately we have this thing, not just like because I feel like having a cool thing, we automatically have it.
Right.
I think you definitely had to, like Sophia called in a few favors, but Sophia had to pay people to get the equipment, right?
Yeah. And I'm sure Penance assembled it all, built it all.
But I was going to say Penance can assemble it, but I think we definitely hit a point where Penance is like, oh, I can't assemble this piece. We're going to have to go out and get, these parts. So yeah, I love it.
Do you want to make a tinker roll?
Sure.
To acquire asset, and then we'll figure out how much coin we need to spend to. We have to spend 1 just to do it, because we're essentially flashing back to an additional. Is this all cool with you, Ray? That we're essentially taking a downtime action in flashback?
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Cool. So for Tinker, do I still set position and effect for this type of roll?
You'll just call it a fortune roll, and you if it asks for position effect, you could say standard, but the effect is based on the roll rather than
roll fortune. And the number of dice is the number of what I have in Tinker, correct? Okay.
You can take if you click on Tinker, it should automatically know.
I remember that. See, I'm just rusty.
Yeah, if you click on Tinker and roll fortune, but take a bonus die, because I will certainly, I'll certainly spend a stress to help you. Because
I feel like
Ank's gonna be A-teaming this with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like Jay talked about the long cable. I feel like there was a camera following it. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like
right.
from your feet to what's going on outside and then flashback.
Yeah. Right. Ooh, nice. So that's a fine item. So that's a tier 2 item for 1 coin. It'll only work once. That I think it burns out, right? But it could also be like we have to return it or whatnot.
Yeah, I like that it burns out.
And Ray, how high a tier do we need to, actually maybe we don't know, we just have to guess, but like I want a tier that's like powerful enough that we can overwhelm whatever ritual this is.
It's not quite enough.
I'm sure it's not enough. 4? Tier 4? Tier 5? Like, what do you feel like, Kristen?
4.
What?
4? Okay.
All right. So I'm going to spend 2. So it's tier 2 by default, just because then it's such an amazing tinker. But we need to spend. All right. So I'm spending a total of 3 coin out of the crew's coffers.
Okay.
And we have a tier 4 Sparkcraft powered. What is it, Kristen? What do you want to do?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I imagine it to be like 4 like rods, right? That we managed to like set up specifically around this car. And I think our goal, right, is to definitely interrupt these ghosts, right? We got to calm these ghosts down or take some of their power.
I think we need to pull them away. And
that's what I mean. Like, yeah. And we don't know. And this isn't a Kristen question, but for our characters, would Ankh and Penance have an idea of what is going to happen if we successfully rip all these angry, panicked ghosts away from their hosts? Like, Ankh might have a good idea of what
Ankh would assume that they would go like feral and just try and find the closest things. So I could, alternatively, again, because as Blades were super prepared via flashbacks, I could also do another acquire asset to acquire a bunch of spirit bottles to put them in, so that they don't just go like murdering. They don't just go like attacking everybody in the rail car.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I have some by default. I have 2 spirit bottles as just standard deployment, right? So I'm going to do an acquire asset to gain like, I don't know, I feel like 10 more. It seems like a lot. I don't know. That's what's in the tube. It's like a tube of spirit bottles. That's what's...
Yes!
It's just all...
Yes!
It's like mason jars.
Blinking out.
And I'm just pulling them out.
Outfits. Perfect.
It's not a map. It's some spirit jars.
Not a map. It's a bunch of spirit jars.
All right. I don't think I can make them like you can. I think I just need to acquire them the way you acquire normal assets. I don't think I can roll like a tune to say like I make spirit jars. I think I would need to create them. And making spirit jars doesn't feel like it's Penance's bailiwick. It's not.
No.
All right, so I want to acquire an asset. I'm going to roll tier. That's what I'm rolling. It's one of the few things I always forget how it works. So thankfully, I have the handout there. Just to click on it, find it. All right, roll tier. 1 die. All right, that's tier 0 spirit jars.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend 1 coin to bring it up to tier 1 at the very least.
We could spend more coin.
I think I'm going to spend 2 coin to make it tier 2.
Yeah.
And then every time you double it, I think it's another coin. So I think they normally come in 2s. So if I want to double it twice, 2, 4, 8, because I have 2 already, I'm going to be spending a total of 4 coin. 2 to raise up quality and 2 to double quantity twice. Does that feel right? Yeah, I think that's right. Ooh, Oof. Okay, so this is a. Oh wait, we're out of crew coin. Let's see. Ankh doesn't have any.
Wait.
Do
Uh-oh.
you have? Can I steal one? Can I take one of your coin?
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool. I was just taking it from the crew before. Okay, so 7 coin later, we have successfully flashed back to being actually prepared for this score because we really weren't, but now we are. Yes, there are like 8 spirit jars in the thing, and we're like, oh no, we need 2 more. And like Ankh's like, no worries, always got these on me. And I will mark that in my load.
Okay.
And so we're like ready. I think we still, despite all of this accoutrement, need an action roll to see if this actually
works,
right? Like I don't think there's anything guaranteed. I think we just could make it work now.
We could make this all work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it has to be Penance who makes the roll because it's your it's your contraption, right? So what action do you feel like this is?
Is this now the 3 stress? Or was the 3 stress for the flashback?
Oh, 3 stress was for the flashback.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm marking my stress properly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then now to make sure this works correctly. Oof.
I feel like it should. Well, you can use any action you want.
Because I can see an argument for Wreck or Tinker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I feel like it's Wreck because Tinker was to build the device. Wreck is to like trash all this stuff. But I don't know.
I do have Ghost Ward, which is how to wreck an area with arcane substances.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's perfect to make it either anathema or enticing to spirits. Your choice. You can. That's brilliant. You can Ghost Ward to get those spirits out of the body, like make the bodies anathema to the spirits that can't stay in them.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try.
Brilliant. Also, you have Saboteur. When you wreck, it is much quieter, and the damage is hidden from casual inspection. So I want to say, from the outside, this is just like a weird light show or something like that. Like nobody sees.
Yeah. I really like that I have built Penance around to wreck arcanely, quietly.
I also just want to say, like, the light show, I feel like the stepsisters are outside, and they just both put on these steampunk shades to watch the light show.
I love them so much.
Because we certainly set up one of them, but they were setting up another one off camera.
Yeah, of course.
It's perfect. Violet and Orchid, we love you.
It's true. Okay, so I'm gonna roll.
What's
Wreck.
the position and effect on this Wreck roll, Jenny?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah, right?
I'm gonna say we're desperate.
Yeah,
it's a but I'm gonna say it's standard effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's
standard.
And I think it's only reasonably standard because we are we're using tier 4 technology, right? Like we're not using like just regular old shit. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if that's sure if that's what you're feeling, Jamie or Ray, but like that's what
totally.
I felt like we had to earn this.
Oh, I'm just trying to decide if I push myself. Wait. Why would I push myself when I haven't yet asked for a devil's bargain? First one of the session. Ray, can I hear a devil's bargain, please?
So the devil's bargain I have to offer you is as the lights start to spark, right? That's when you can start to see Penance, even if you don't have the spirit mask, you can start to see the spirits against the light. Mm-hmm. And that's when you clearly see that one of the spirits here is Julia.
Okay.
So the devil's bargain I have to offer you is that if this goes wrong, this is like the last chance you have to try to save Julia. Okay. And like you hear Ordon in your head again going, you can't allow yourself to dare to hope.
I feel like Penance is always put in these positions. And I always want to be like, of course Penance is going to do everything to save this person. And then she ends up walking away. Like every time. Yes, I'm going to take this amazing devil's bargain. So I'll add a bonus die.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's fair to say that I am going to be assisting you in this. And the way that works is I'm sitting there with all the spirit jars and unless Ray, you feel like it's a separate action to like attune to get them in, which I'm also happy to do. But like, I feel like the thing about spirit masks is that like it lets you see into the ghost field, but also lets the ghost field see you. And so, and like Ong just like takes on like this big inhale, and she just like yells in like a real like visceral like howl, and she just like screams to like get all the attention of the ghosts, so that they're they're just and like they can hear her, and like she's sort of like, come to me, like at one as all these things happening. So that's
okay.
Yeah, she's shrieking banshee style as this all this electroplasm is sparking everywhere. So that's how I'm spending a stress. Like veins in her head are popping, and yeah, it's
perfect. I love it so much.
All right, so I'll add another die. Okay. We'll take that. We'll take that 6.
We got a 6.
We'll take that.
Okay. Perfect.
I should show it.
Those 3s were scary, but we got the 6.
We got the 6.
Excellent. Yeah. So as the machine like hums and comes to life from the outside, it just looks like this spectacular light show. You can see several rich people stopping to look at it, going, ooh, odd, clapping politely as the stepsisters curtsy and bow, right? Nice. Taking credit.
I love that.
Handing out pamphlets, right? This is all part of the plan, right?
Mm-hmm. Back to see the show later on.
Yeah. Right. This is just a preview, right? Mm-hmm. Letting everybody know. And then so when we cut back, we see like all of the lightning like arc through, like it kind of goes in slow motion in the same way that the camera was following the cable earlier. Now it's following the arcs of lightning as it like comes in and starts to disrupt the ritual. Like you can see it, Ankh, it's like pulling into the center and just ripping apart all of you can sense that this ritual has been cast time and time and time again. Like as it starts to unspool, you can feel the waves of time. Like there's a moment like underneath your mask, we see Ankh like growing old and then young again and then old again and young again as the time just like comes undone. You realize this is a very ancient ritual, right? And like not even just casting the ritual requires an extreme amount of power. Like doing so would undo most people.
I'm going to posit that there is a former person who looks a lot like Ankh, who we kind of see. Like we see like an older Ankh, and we see like somebody with like a weird tattoo on their face that like, maybe that's Ankh's future. Maybe that's a predecessor of Ankh. I don't know. But like, yeah, we see, why not make it an Ankh? We see an Ankh tattooed on like the cheek of Ankh at one point in this, and like, yeah.
And then like Ankh, you see as the time like crashes over you, you look to the side, and that same time crashes over Auradon, but she looks exactly the same. Just completely timeless and untouched, right? And there's just more of that sadness. Like you can sense, you can feel it, but she can't quite connect to that sense of time. And you realize how adrift she is from all of these things. And like she catches your eyes for a moment. And then as the ritual comes undone, all of the ghosts at the same time start to like break off. Because it's a 6, we're going to say like it's a very clean break, right? You're able to like pull them into the spirit bottles with very little resistance.
You don't want me to make an attune roll to get them in there? I think they're just...
No, you got a 6. I'm gonna give it to you.
All right. Sounds good. I'll take it.
Right. Besides, we still have the timekeeper who right. And you see, like, as the magic comes undone and the electricity and everything, like it just washes over it, and it's completely unaffected. Like there's a single crack across the plague mask, and then the crack heals itself. Okay. And then there's a moment when it's suddenly quiet again. All the spirits are like within the bottles, and then the timekeeper just slowly turns around and like thumps against the back of the coffin. 1, 2, 3, and there's this horrible scream hollowed from the inside of the coffin, begging, "No, please, no, don't make me, please. I don't want to do this." And the timekeeper says, "You are out of time." And then this thing falls down onto the ground, and it's just ichor, and it's too many legs, and it's too many fingers, and it's too many eyes, and it's just screaming and screaming in pain. And Auradon says, "Ankh, we have to go now." And the thing starts moving rapidly towards you. What do you do?
I think in the presence of horrific supernatural things, most mortals, Ankh certainly included, because I don't have the Iron Will ability, have only two responses. Stand there in a panic or run like hell. And typically you can make a resolve resist to regain your composure. But I think I'm going to run like hell. So long as it's fair to say I have collected the spirit bottles and I'm not leaving them behind. If they're not collected, then I will resist to be able to take that action first. But
I kind of see like each moment you collected a spirit, you were throwing them back into the map.
Yeah.
Thing like
there's a little velvet side and they're just sliding gracefully down, clink, 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 sliding into the thing. Yeah. Yeah, this looks like some sort of cosmic horror. What do you think, Kristen? Do you feel like run the hell away is the...
Yeah, but I want to say that Penance runs last.
Sure.
I want to say that Penance stays for just like a beat longer, right? Because I think with Oregon grabbing your arm, or at least she's addressing you, right, as Ankh, and so I feel like you probably snapped into like, oh, if she's saying run, we really need to go. I'm assuming, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure, no, that sounds right.
I think Penance stands there for like a beat. And is it
long enough that Ankh has to yell Penance?
Yeah, I like that you get like 2 or 3 rooms down and like turn around and yell Penance. But I think Penance is staring at the timekeeper. And Ray, you can change or add this, but I just like the idea that the timekeeper is staring back and more like at opposite ends, just staring at each other as the thing is crawling. And I think as soon as Ankh yells Penance, Penance looks down and it's like inches from her and she just runs.
Do you want to take this opportunity? I mean, I think it's going to be like desperate, but do you want to take this opportunity to study the timekeeper or this creature or something like that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you could say what's happening? Like we can ask questions about what's happening if you're willing to take the chance that like your face gets eaten in the process.
I mean, hard mode.
Right.
I promise that you won't get your face eaten.
Okay.
There's something else I have.
It's so specific, Ray. Not your face. Not the face so much. Yeah, I think Penance doesn't move out of fear, but then after like a heartbeat, I think she's trying to take in everything she can from this split second before she goes. I have nothing in study, but that makes sense. This is horrifying, right?
I mean, study and survey have a lot of overlap, and in this case, I think survey a location or situation to understand what's going on sounds
okay. Ray, that sounds okay.
Reasonable to me.
Survey, yeah, totally, that makes sense. That does make sense. Okay, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
So we're a desperate standard.
Okay.
Yes, Jay, I do have a mask on, right? I mean, we all have masks on at this point.
Yeah.
Except for Auradon, who just wears a mask all the time.
Ouch.
Oh.
The mask of humanity.
Wounded. Oh, all right. Do I push myself?
I would totally help, but I don't.
No, I'm going to push myself because then I'm that much closer to trauma.
Yeah.
Okay, here I go.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
I can't help, but I can help because we're bound in darkness, so we can assist somebody from anywhere. I don't have to be nearby to assist you. I mean, I am nearby, but like, I don't think I could assist you in studying normally.
No, yeah.
But I think at one point I turn and I don't yell penance. I like touch the ground, and we see like the rail car like vibrate with like the susurring energy, and it like vibrates down, and you hear me like there's the text bubble of penance above you, like the caption of penance above you, all caps. But also I think it pushes back this roiling feet energy for just a second, to just buys you just like a moment of extra time.
That makes sense, because that's yeah.
So that's,
you got stress to spend.
I got 3 more I could take. I'm good.
I only have 1 more after this.
Well, you did that super expensive flashback.
Yeah, well, we're living on the edge. It's fine. Okay, here we go. Worth it.
I saw the one I really have one vision.
Anyway, same. I do the same.
We're good. Yeah, right. Okay, excellent. Yeah, so like as your eyes lock with the timekeeper, like there's a moment when it says, "It's been a long time, Mother." And it slowly starts to move towards you. Penance, you feel your memories start to shift again. You feel something come undone. It's almost like vertigo as you're being pulled back as the waves of time, right? I think like underneath the mask, we get a sense like there's some scarring, right? Once again, we don't see it clearly, right? It's just, we just see a close up and we see the scar coming undone, right? So Penance, we see you like next to Angelo, and he says, "Are you sure about this? You don't have to push yourself so hard. I don't think she's asking you to do this." And then that's when you hear your younger self say, "Jessica didn't ask me to, but I have to protect her somehow. This is what's going to help." And then you see yourself like in front of like several bodies, just like pulling out parts from like each person, right? And then turning around, and then there's the exact plague mask that the timekeeper is wearing. And then you see Lady Arabella walk in and say, "Penance, my dear, it's so good to see you being so creative."
And that's all in the flashback. That's all in my younger self, right? So I see her from before. Okay.
And then like as you see the memory, you start to see it like come undone again. Like there's a force that's pulling at it. You can sense you're about to lose this memory. What do you do?
It had already been lost, right? Like I'm getting the sense that I helped build this thing, and then the memory was taken from me. So I had no idea. Damn, that's good. So good, Ray. Oh gosh, I think I love this because Ankh already opened up the line of communication. I think that I put my hand on the wall. If we could, it can be the floor, but in my mind, I think Penance is almost bracing herself. And all she says back to Ankh is, "It's my fault." And then the memory's gone. So I don't know. I don't think she conveyed enough, right? But I think she's trying to like.
In the moment where you had the memory, you were holding it, you conveyed a little bit of it.
I tried to convey a little bit of it, but really, I think Penance was going to reach out and talk to Ankh and try to like recount everything she could from that memory so that Ankh could remember it for her. But all she says, or all that comes out, is it's my fault. And then I guess
love it. I love it.
Then the memory is gone, and unless something else happens, Penance is running.
And I think what happens is, like, as you make it towards the door, that's when you realize, like, the timekeeper just, like, it very slowly shoulders the coffin again, and it starts moving towards you. But that black ichord creature, and you can hear it, like, screaming in pain and terror. Like, it moves quickly towards you, and you know it's about to get you. And then that's when Auradon pushes herself in front of you, and she pushes you out of the car and closes the door behind you.
Oh, no.
So Ankh and I are outside, but...
I mean, you can resist it if you want, but...
I mean, Penance is no stranger to leaving people behind.
Yeah.
But Ankh.
Yeah, I think Ankh would be the one to resist. Contextually, I just kind of want to, like, appreciate what's going on. Penance is about to get out. The Black Ichor is about to get you. And Auradon puts herself in the way so that we can get out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a supernatural sort of Winchester brothers constantly jumping in front of the bullet in front of each other, like meme, where it's just no, right? And I feel like there's a little bit of that going on, where it's like, no, not you, no, not you. And if it's possible, I would like to resist. And if it's possible, I would like to resist, not by physically, like, overpowering Auradon or being, like, faster or whatnot. I'd like to resist by sort of anticipating that she is going to, like, as I see, like, that this is about to happen, I grab her this time. I grab her by the wrist, and I say, and I look her in the eye, and I say, "Don't leave." And what I wanted to imply is that, like, you're worth something. You don't need to throw yourself away for us. And I don't think there's time to convey all that in words. So it has to be just done in this lovelorn gaze of, like, don't leave us, you know? And so my thought is she can slam the door or, like, melt it with fire or whatever, you know, there's other ways besides jumping into the fray. But I don't know, maybe. So I think I'm going to resist this. And what I care most about resisting is that Auradon does not sacrifice herself completely in this scenario. So maybe she doesn't come with us. Maybe I don't know. But I don't need total control over it. I just need a little bit. Anyway, does that sound reasonable?
That does. It sounds like Sway. Is that what you're... Or is it something
I was going to
else?
make a resolve roll resist, but I'm also happy to make a Sway action roll, I think.
Oh, yeah. No. It's my brain. Resolve sounds good. All right, let's see how it goes.
This is my power stat, so we'll see how it goes. I get a bonus die and resolve resists. With all the dice. Still took stress, but I did not stress out. So I'll take it.
5 is still good. 5 is still good.
Yeah.
I'll take one stress to get her to stick around.
Right. And so, like, as you grab her hand to say that, and you say, like, "Don't leave me," that's when you see the ends of her hair start to, like, engulf in flame, and her eyes are full of fire. And she leans over and she says, "I'll buy both of you some time, but I promise I'll return. Keep a flame lit for me, my little pearl." And then she just completely, like, goes up in flames.
All right. I just want to point out that she made a promise to me while we were touching, and I have Ghost Contract. And when you shake on a deal, You and your partner, human or otherwise,
Oh.
both bear a mark of your oath. If either of you breaks the contract, you take level 3 harm, cursed.
Is it a flame? Is the mark a flame?
It has to be a flame. Of course it's a flame. Of course it's this. Yes. So when she like grabs my hand and like leaves, like when she leaves, I think there's a tattoo of a serpent on her hand, and when on my hand there's on my forearm there's a flame. She may or may not have realized that she was making a ghost contract, but she promised. She said the word promise, and we were in physical contact. So I'm calling it a ghost contract.
I love it.
Dangerous to make contracts with the Ankayet, or to make promises to the Ankayet family.
Perfect. But yeah, and then so you see like as the door slams shut, like you can see through the glass, like the flames envelope that creature, and it starts sobbing in relief.
Oh, poor monstrous creature.
Oh.
And then you just see like one by one, all of the people that were like standing in a circle, like light up in flames, and none of them respond as they're being burned alive.
Oh damn, we should get out of here.
Okay.
And then so you see like when you get past like that second car with that hallway, like you can see like the fire is like lighting up the curtains. When you get back to the first car, like you can see like the stepsisters had already like emptied it out, right, of people. And you can see the bartender going like, no, but Ori is still back there. I have to. And then the bartender looks at you, Ankh. Where's Ori?
I think I say she's returned to her element. We need to go, and I think I just grab him, like manhandle him, like I don't even like try to explain. I just try to muscle him out.
Yeah, and I think it's a very dramatic, like as all of you pile out of the train car, like the third one explodes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I feel like. Do you want us to make some sort of action roll to get out before we're singed, before we're
I think because we definitely have harm on the table here. So
yeah,
sure.
I feel like it should be. I feel like the way I'm approaching this is actually skirmish. It's assault or hold a position, brawl or wrestle. I feel like this is like physically pushing people along, and man, it could also be command or prowl, but I don't know, that skirmish is what feels sort of right to me.
Yeah, I agree. Do we want to make this a group action?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. If that feels like it's the right approach to you, Penance.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're not leaving here calmly or
no, it's being physical with people if we need to. It could certainly also be command, but I don't know.
I don't have Dotson either.
Cool.
So.
Well, why don't you roll it? I'll lead the action, and we'll see how much stress I take.
Okay. Are we risky, or does effect not matter right now?
I think effect probably does.
Yeah. We are desperate. Oh, have you been marking XP for your desperate rolls?
Yes.
All right.
This will be my third.
Yeah.
Desperate standard or desperate?
Yeah. Okay. Desperate standard. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well. Okay. I'm one stress shy of calming. I didn't show the thing. So I got a 4.
I did bad.
You got a 1, so I take 1 stress for that. But we did it.
Okay.
We did it.
I'm so sorry about the 1. Dang it.
It's fine. The 3 would have gotten me just as bad.
Okay.
Heroic XP for a desperate skirmish.
Perfect. Yeah, but you're able to manage to get out of there, right? Like relatively intact. But what you do see, like from the wreckage, like you notice, like Penance, you've wrecked a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. This fire is burning very quickly, like way more quickly than normal. But you also see like it falling apart. You can already see like that twisted circle of bodies that were burned alive, like just still standing there. and in the middle is the timekeeper, completely untouched.
Shit.
And it just looks at you and walks away, dragging the coffin beyond the flames and disappears into the darkness.
That's some bad news bears. Time with that timekeeper.
Wow, that timekeeper's so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
But that is the end of our score. We did get, I'm going to say that you're still going to be able to get information from the spirits. Like they were there to witness things. It'll take some work, Ankh, but you should be able to get information about the timekeeper and Lady Arabella. So I still think you did fairly well. And it'll be just time before Oradan is able to reconnect to you. So yeah, this went well.
Yeah, I mean, we went up against something way more powerful than us.
Yes.
I would say blindly, I would say uninformed, but we were only uninformed until we retroactively became informed, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of flashbacks.
The whole part of Blades.
Exactly.
We don't need to know what we're doing before we started. So yeah.
The best part.
I was happy for that.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we do XP?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or should we do
payoff?
Let's do payoff first.
Payoff? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, Skurlock definitely paid you, right? Like
that's what I felt like. Is that this was the kind of score we weren't gonna steal stuff, but Skurlock was gonna be like, "Here's some money."
Yeah. And I think Skurlock knew the dangers you were up against. And so offered 8 coin for sure.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Considering we spent just slightly less than that, I'm definitely here for it.
No, it's perfect.
I'm just gonna put it all in our vault.
True.
Now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We can divvy it up as needed. Awesome.
Ooh. In terms of heat, we were almost smooth and quiet. We were almost there.
We were so close to smooth and quiet.
Close.
We were so close. We were like, the wreck is contained and everything's so chill. And then at the very end, we're just like, let's blow up the tow truck.
Yeah.
I mean, if he let Oradan get torn apart by that thing, it would have remained quiet. So
great, nice, loud and chaotic, high exposure.
I'm gonna have to say it's 4 heat. It's 4 heat.
And people died, right?
Yes.
Because
this is the night market, and the blue coats are close by. So they do show up and see that ring of bodies. And
I mean, it doesn't even matter if they associate it with us. It's just they're pissed off and they're going to be trying to figure out what happened, and eventually it comes back to us. They don't even have to know us for sure for us to get the heat. So yeah. All right, so it sounds like 6 heat.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right to?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can take 6 heat. I don't know how our heat is like. Oh, we previously cleared our heat.
Yeah, you did.
So now it's mostly full. All right, cool.
That's okay.
And rep. What was the tier of the timekeeper?
4.
Dang. Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
So that's worth 2 rep plus 1 per difference. So that's 5 rep.
Okay. Nice.
Which I think is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does not quite put us at tier 2, but it's very close.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Awesome.
We need to save up coin for that. And any faction status changes? Doesn't feel like we.
Yeah, not. Let me double check. Let me look.
I mean, Skurlock is his own faction.
That's right. That's right. He is.
That's true. I think that's definitely gonna increase your standing with.
Right, because he's my personal contact, but he's weird because he straddles the line between both being.
Which is so cool.
Both being a contact that someone can know individually and a faction that affects a crew. So, so currently we're at 0 with him. Should this bump us up to +1?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the fact that you can confirm, right? Because he wasn't quite sure if children were involved, but now he knows. Like once you describe the ritual and everything, like he's sure that's what's going on.
I point him to the book for my flashback. All right, Lord Skurlock is on the map. I don't have a place for him. We have too much stuff.
Well, we can delete the Arcbenders if you...
Oh yeah, that's true. We're no longer at war with them because they're not around.
I'm sure they're safe somewhere else in this
world. Oh yeah, they're in a good
fine.
All right, yeah. Oh, we're still at -1 with the Spirit Wardens. Darn it! I thought we got better. We did improve it. I think we were lower.
I think we were 2 before.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. Like you still have to prove, like, because they asked you to
they wanted Lily Blood. We haven't done it
yet. So once you get that,
get in line, Spirit Wardens. We're in high demand.
Yeah. All right.
It's true.
All right. So now XP. Do a thing. Yeah. All right. Penance, you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. You addressed a challenge with technical skill or mayhem. Yes, absolutely. In our flashback. In our flashback, putting together that lightning rod thing, having the detonator, the cable running. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for that. And then you expressed your beliefs, drive, heritage, or background. I would say background, based on that very last scene with the timekeeper and the memory and the loss of the memory.
That was me looking out for you so you could get XP.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll take one for that.
I also think you should take one for this sort of intro scene bits with Angelo.
Yeah, true.
Good call. Yeah. Okay. And even though it would fill up my track if I took one more, see, my trauma is obsession, but I had locked my obsession to the person whose name I've already forgotten.
Oh, Athea?
Much to mean to me. Athea. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I have
transferred, right? Like I feel like you staying behind and like obsessively wanting to understand what is going on. I feel like
like Kristen's obsession with the timekeeper actually translated to Penance's obsession with the timekeeper.
Yeah, I think that you have a certain obsession with your creations, whether you realize they're your creations or not. Like anything that is sort of, and also I feel like that played out in your relationship with Angelo, in that you're like, no, don't talk to my hall, right? Like, I feel like that puts strain on your relationship, and definitely you should not have stuck around to see what was going on with the timekeeper. So I think. Yeah. Obsession is very
I like that. Okay, I like that because I was thinking, how am I going to switch my obsession? Like I need to change the focus of that trauma, but I like that.
Yeah,
I guess
I think obsessed just means you have an obsessive personality. Like you are obsessive, right? You find things to obsess about, right? And if one thing is resolved, you'll find something else. And in this case,
is definitely obsessive. Definitely don't pull that from reality.
No. None of these reflect our actual
none of these
personal issues. Awesome. All right.
Cool.
Let's do Ankh.
Yeah.
All right. Did I address a challenge with knowledge or arcane power? Yes, I think I did.
Oh yeah.
I think I repeatedly did. Yeah. I think the big one, of course, was like pulling the spirits out and whatnot, but also like flashing back to working with Skurlock and understanding what was going on and kind of gathering information via looking into the ghost field and all that jazz. So I feel like that's a twofer. Did I express my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? I think that because Ray, you gave me the opportunity in the very beginning to sort of talk about Ankh's stability, which is to say that it's like not very. And I tried to play that out a little bit in the terms of like, we're just rolling in. And like, everybody's like, are you sure? And I'm just like, until Ankh gets a better bearing, which I'm sure she will gather in season 2, as we figure out more of what's going on. I think until she gets a better bearing on what's going on right now, she's kind of a little out of control. And so I feel like that was a lot of due to her like need to like show her family, you're not the boss of me. I'm not. Yeah. And also, I feel like her drive. I said she's really passionate about whoever she's with in the moment. I feel like that played out very much when Ordon was like, I'm going to leave. And you're like,
Yep.
Okay, you can just run out now. And I'm like, no, I'm going to resist that. No, yep, we're going to take all this extra heat.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like that was her. Yeah.
I love that.
And then the last one is you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma. My vice is stupor. I did not struggle with that. And my trauma is cold. And I don't think I struggled with that either. I don't think I was cold. I think I could have been like cut our losses and run at several opportunities. I think there were several opportunities to be cold. And
I'll admit that I make it hard for you.
Yeah, Ankh was surprisingly like almost warm. This
I think she was. I think it's interesting to see her normal callousness not be present when it's two people she cares a great deal about, right? Like there weren't a lot of. If you had told me one of the consequences of getting out was like we don't get a couple, like you said, it's reduced effect, you don't get a couple people, I would have been like, all right, we don't get a couple people, like that would have been being cold because she tried and oh well, yeah, it didn't happen. So I don't think either of those apply, which is fine. Sometimes it's nice not to earn XP.
Yeah. True.
Shall
we do crew X? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, one of my favorite devil's bargains ever was one that took me 10 minutes to finally say, no, I won't take it.
No. Oh my God.
I literally agonized for 10 minutes over it.
That's so good, though.
That is so good. Yeah.
Did we advance the agenda of our deity or embody its precepts in action? We should probably remember who our deity is. Our deity is Zaur, the sunken pylon, ferocious and radiant, and its desires are for us to set demons free.
I don't know that we did that this time.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, because this is, as Ray, you said, as a side quest. This is sort of a. Although there is one element which I would say we did it on a spiritual or metaphorical level. Ordon was totally ready to just be like, I feel like Ordon is like so used to having a master, having someone bound that has bound her, that she effectively was treating me like I was bound to her, even though I wasn't. It's a big point of Ankh not binding Ordon to herself. Like she totally knows that is a thing that can be done and absolutely has not done it intentionally. Yeah. And I feel like she was doing the like, I'm just gonna throw myself in front of the fire. In this case, I am the fire for you. And I think I was like, no, you count, you matter, and don't throw yourself away. So I think in that sense of like freeing demons, I feel like hopefully Ankh is trying to help Ordon have more.
Yeah, free her from her metaphysical pain.
It is. I know it's stretching, but like.
No. I agree. I feel like that's very thematically like, and it's something your deity would definitely approve of. So.
I'll take one for that. I won't.
Cool.
Contend with challenges above your current station. A bunch of angry ghosts, the timekeeper, a crazy coffin monster.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes. I'll take you too right now.
For sure.
Do we bolster our crew's reputation or develop a new one? Our crew's reputation are ambitious and daring. I think that was extremely ambitious.
We were daring.
Walk through the door.
I got a delivery. What's a delivery? I got a delivery.
Who knows? Yeah, we definitely did that.
If this was, well, I mean, there are guns in There are guns in Dustfall. So what could have been in that map thing was like a bazooka or like some sort of like Sparkcraft bazooka if it had been appropriate to blow the Timekeeper to smithereens.
Yeah. I really like that it was spirit jars though.
I'm so glad that I was like,
really do.
Oh, jars would fit in a map. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna take 2 for that because I think both of those were done. So, and do we express the goals, drives, inner beliefs, or essential nature of the crew? Yeah. I felt like we had lots of great moments between Ankh and Penance, and
yeah, totally. I think that's another 2 for sure.
All right, excellent. Oh, sorry, friends, I keep forgetting to do it. Anyhow, so as you can see, we're one tick away from a crew advance, and
so we can start thinking about what we'd want to do with that advance.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. All right, friends, this was lovely. So great seeing everyone. Cool to hang out with folks, chat. Thanks for being with us. As a reminder, if you want to pew us, one thing you could do if you're watching right now and you're like, hey, I am an Amazon Prime member, you could use the Amazon Prime sub. It costs you nothing. It lasts 1 month. We make like $2, but hey, that's $2 that you would otherwise be throwing away. So if you are not already using your Amazon sub, send it this way. We're going to split it between the Trans Legal Defense Fund and Black Lives Matter. So good stuff will be done with those $2. Yeah, it's a good thing to do. Anyway, I'm Sean Nittner. I use he, him pronouns. I can be found everywhere at Sean Nittner. And the thing that I am excited about right now, the thing that I've been talking to folks about, is that Big Bad Con is currently running a micro grant, a $30,000 micro grant, which is, I think, the first time. I don't know of a time this has happened before. So I don't want to say for sure this has never happened before, but I feel like this is the first time I can think of that we have a grant just to give people to make games. So if you're a marginalized game designer and you have a card-based, prompt-based kind of game that would work on the StorySynth platform, you should go to bigbadcon.com and check out the grant and apply. We have 100 microgrants to give out, and we're real stoked to make that happen. We really want to show up, and the money is just, we give to you to make a game. You own the game fully. You have all rights to it. We want to monetize the games so that you can make money, people playing them, but you can choose to make them free. You can also choose to put them behind your own paywalls like Patreon or whatnot, where you say once somebody has a Patreon backer, you grant them access. So there's lots of cool ways in which you can use either your current sort of Ko-fi or Patreon or crowdfunding, or hopefully in the future, the monetization, which is in development now. So anyway, check that out, Big Bad Con. How about you, Kristen? It's up to you.
Yay. That was all such good stuff, Sean. Hi, I'm Kristen, she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at KristenIsNoJedi. My big project right now will be winding down in 44 hours. It is the Adorablins Kickstarter. It did fund. We are moving rapidly towards our last 2 stretch goals, which I would love to meet. So Adorablins is a mint tin pocket-sized game where you play very cute or adorable little goblins going on an adventure. It is a stripped down PBTA game that at its core is meant to teach children how to role play, tell stories, roll dice, that sort of thing. But we have played it with many adults, and it turns into a very fun, silly, lighthearted improv game, which I think we could all use more of during this time. So if you want to check it out, it is up on Kickstarter. It's, again, Adorablins, and it ends in like 44 hours. Yay! So that's it for me. How about you, Ray?
Hi, so I'm Ray. My pronouns are they, he. You can find me on Twitter at SemperHiccup. You can find me on itch.io. My games are there. So what's going on for me right now is Apocalypse Keys is going through its editing phase. Oh, we made it. And aside from that, I have a Forge in the Dark game that I'm working on that I'm really excited about. I think we're about ready to release it on beta. It's called The Twilight Throne and the Houses of Ruin, which is a political intrigue game of surreal magic and tragic intimacy. I'm really excited about it. And I'm honestly working on a lot of things, like many of us in the TTRPG space. I'm working on a dozen projects at the same time, so you can keep up with me on Twitter. Yeah, so I'd love to see you there.
Awesome. Well, everybody, we're gonna do that silly thing where I like put up a banner and like we're still talking, but the show's over, and then we're gonna end it in a second. So, you know that shtick. Anyway, bye, all.
See y'all next time. Bye.